is another pressing issue that we need to discuss. The pressing issue being Christmas, a very magical time, but it can get a little bit overwhelming, can't it, for parents and kids?
Absolutely. Like we've just been talking about, having all of the things, lastminute.com, having to pack wrap presents, get everything sorted. It's a lot for parents.
It is a lot. Now, it can also be a time when, you know, Santa is coming. There's this magical Santa who is going to come, and the stories about Santa can get a little bit kind of like veer into bribery and that kind of thing, can't it? Now, you know, this kind of thing and materialism, and it's the kind of not so great side of Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's understandable because there is a sensory overload during Christmas, and it is a traditional way to manage children's behaviour, to say that there is a naughty list and a good list. If you behave, you'll be on the good list. It's a popularised way of managing children's behaviour. So it's understandable that parents will kind of jump to that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's obviously not the best way to deal with issues with children's behaviour.
I mean, do you think it's kind of setting them up for, I mean, what is bad about doing that?
It's almost saying that the feeling that the child is having is a bad feeling in itself. You know, it's sensory overload for us. You know, we've just been talking about how overwhelming it is, how much we've got to do. Children also have their own experience of Christmas. You know, they're not in their usual routine. They're off school. They're not seeing their friends. They're around their parents and siblings a lot more. So they're also experiencing sensory overload. And the way that will manifest is through their behaviour, through their actions, maybe their anxieties as well. And if as parents we are not able to hold space for that, which is completely normal because we are also overwhelmed over Christmas, we will just jump to using these kind of bribery methods instead of actually using these as opportunities for helping our children navigate their emotions in a healthier way.
So what can we do then to kind of help them through sensory overload, overexcitement? Sometimes it's going to be late nights, isn't there, as well? Like I'm prepping for that because I've got family over and they're going to bed very late these days anyway. How do we manage that?
Definitely. The best way you can. Understanding, firstly it's awareness, right? It's knowing that, my kids are going to be experiencing overwhelm just like I'm experiencing it. So when they do start behaving in a certain way, you can kind of say, I get it, you're tired. You can validate the emotion that they're feeling. Oh yeah, you're really tired, you're ready to go to bed. Oh yeah, you've had they might not want to come away from the fun that they're having. They might not even want to go home, right? So it's like, oh yeah, I get it, you're having so much fun with your cousins. It's still time to come home. So it's almost taking that role as the authority, which you need to as a parent anyway, but remembering that even during the festive time that we still have to, as best we can, do what we can to be the authority for our children as well.
Now, what about the fact that as South Asians, we come from varied different religions, right, in this country, and we may not be Christian, we may not want to get involved in the religious side of Christmas, and we may have our own festivals as well and our own faiths that we want our children to take part in. However, what about if your child is more interested in Christmas? Because, we are in the UK and this time of year is all about Christmas. How do we manage that?
Yeah, it's such an interesting one, isn't it? Because we also feel it as parents, because we get kind of carried away with Christmas. We love the festivities, and our children experience that through their own lens, right? I remember a conversation I had with one of my children where they'd said, why do we not celebrate Diwali as much as Christmas? And as I got talking to my child, I realised that it was because of school. It was actually a school thing. They wanted to do more at school, and the school didn't really make a big deal out of Diwali. Right. Whereas Christmas, they had to go to church, they had to sing carols. There was all sorts of things that they need to do because we obviously live in Britain. So it's really, again, validating and understanding that we as parents still want to celebrate our festivities with the children, but they're British kids too. just like we love Christmas, they might love Christmas, and it's just having that conversation with them.
Did you then ramp up your efforts to celebrate Diwali?
I did.
After that, right?
Yeah,
okay,
I did actually, and with my family in particular, we have multiple faiths in our family. My mother-in-law's Jain, I'm Sikh, my husband's Hindu, I've got a Christian sister-in-law, so we have a very multicultural
Same
family.
with my family, there's a lot of different religions.
Yeah, and actually it's embracing that and saying this is a wonderful opportunity again for us to become more culturally diverse and to celebrate and respect one another's religions and cultures and experiences. So it's not about necessarily making a bigger show out of Diwali or a bigger thing of Christmas. It's more just kind of lending yourself to thinking, well, Christmas is Christmas, we have a tree, we do all of these things, but also Diwali is there too. And some parents might not even care, it's very subjective, just like parenting is. It's all related to how you uniquely want to raise your children in line with your own personal values.
Absolutely. So San, we are going to talk a little bit more after this next track, and we're going to be moving the conversation on to